Welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. Happy Wednesday, happy Underwater Wednesday. And no, this is not a rerun from last Wednesday's episode, but we had such a great response from our Lipless Crankbait comparison episode last Wednesday, and so many comments and feedback about, hey, can you compare these to these? What about this lipless crankbait? What about that one? I mean, guys, we would do this all year if we compared every suggestion that we got last week on the episode about lipless crankbaits. But we're coming back. We're going to do some of them. We aren't going to get to all of them, but we are going to compare some more this week on the episode. Guys, the biggest one that we had to get to, if you're going to talk about lipless crankbaits, you got to go old school. So that's what this episode is about. We're going to be comparing the original Rattle Trap to the old cotton Cordell Super Spot. These are the two old school baits that, started the whole lipless crankbait thing to begin with. So we're going to put these in the pool, and like I did last week, I grabbed a third one just to run it next to them. So we're going to see what the duo Realis Vibration, we'll see how it compares. Stick around, guys. We're going to get right in the pool and we're going to start running some lipless crankbaits, show you how they compare. Welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher. So, yep, we're taking the original Bill Lewis Rattle Trap, and we're going to compare it to the cotton Cordell Super Spot. We're going to do what we did last week. We're going to show you the bait as it goes through. We're going to see what happens when you kill the bait, and then we're going to turn the screen off and have you just listen to the rattle. So we'll turn the video part off, but just keep the audio on so you can hear the sound, the rattles that each of these baits make. So let's get in the pool. Let's start with the Bill Lewis Rattle Trap. So we're watching the original Bill Lewis Rattle Trap here. And the thing that I noticed, I'll start right away. The one thing that I noticed is these rattle traps come with mustad hooks that have that Teflon coating. They are super sticky, sharp hooks. And when I took it out of the box and was like, oh wow, you would not want to change these hooks. These are perfect right out of the box. But when you're looking at the bait as it's moving, it's got a much subtler vibration or rattles than last week with the baits that we were throwing last week. It almost seems like a tighter wobble, and I feel like you have to run the bait a little bit faster than normal to keep that vibration in. So when I say faster than normal, to keep that bait vibrating, I'm moving that bait faster than I was last week, I believe, with those other baits that we were running last week. Now let's see what happens when I kill the bait. The rattle trap just kind of dives down. It does have a little bit of a, it kind of maybe goes off to one side or the other. It doesn't just nosedive straight down. I'll let you kind of make your own conclusions about that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off the video portion and just let you hear the audio of the Bill Lewis Rattle Trap as it goes by the camera. So that's the Rattle Trap. Now we're going to get to the Cotton Cordell Super Spot. Now, this is a bait, quite honestly, that back in the day, you would buy this bait as the economical substitute for a rattle trap. And one of the things that I noticed the minute I put this in the pool and started following it with the camera is that this bait starts to vibrate at a much slower rate than the rattle trap did. So I can move this bait at a much slower pace and still get the vibration out of the bait. You can burn the bait, but you don't have to burn it in order to get that vibration, which I really think is interesting. And I think it's interesting how these baits compare. I'm not saying that one is better than another, but it gives you information about what you can do with each bait. Knowing that you're seeing this here and seeing slow versus fast retrieves and things like that, it's giving you information for when you're on the water and you have to make decisions about, do I want to burn this bait? If I need to burn a bait, is there a better lipless crankbait to use to burn baits versus if I'm slowly working it over the grass and ticking it off the grass? Now let's see what this super spot does when you kill the bait. Look at this. It's almost floating down, almost floating kind of parallel. Just a soft floating down when you kill this bait. Guys, while we're looking at these lipless crankbaits, I would again just remind you, this is the kind of information that we're able to put out to you Monday through Friday. Please, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, send in your comments. We appreciate the feedback, and we also appreciate you telling us what videos you would like to see. It gives us an idea of what you want, and then we produce it for you. Thank you so much, guys. Let's get back to the lipless crankbaits. All right, let's run this bait past the camera. We'll turn the video off, and you can hear the cotton Cordell super spot. Super spot. Now, like I did last week, guys, I threw an extra one in here. This has been a bait that I have really liked in certain situations, the Realis Vibration. Now, this is an expensive bait. This is like a $13, $15 bait. And when I put it in the pool, one of the things you'll notice right off the bat is all three of these baits are half-ounce baits. This is the Realis Vibration, and this is the Cordell Super Spot. Just look at the size of the bait. They're both half-ounce, but the body of this bait is much bigger than the body of the Realis. And the Realis goes right back to what I was saying about the rattle trap. I really felt like I had to turn the crank much faster to get that bait to vibrate. And there were times when it just went through the water without vibrating. Now, when you burn this bait, boy, it goes. And it really gives a tight little vibration and it cranks through. But I was really hot on this bait when I first started fishing them. But when I'm seeing them in the pool, now I'm looking at them going, I think there's other baits that might be better. Look at this bait when you kill it. It just kind of nosedives. Again, it reminds me of the War Pig, only a smaller profile and kind of just nose heavy going straight down to the bottom. Now let's listen to this duo Realis Vibration as it goes by the camera with the video off. Guys, those are our 3 baits for this week, our 3 lipless crankbaits. So in total, we've seen the Rattle Trap, we've seen the Cotton Cordell Super Spot, we've seen the duo Realis Vibration, and then last week we looked at the War Pig, we looked at the 2-tap, the Strike King Red Eye, and we snuck in the Excalibur in there. So we've done 6 of these. Guys, here's the biggest takeaway that I have from this. I'm not saying any of these are bad. I think you have to look at this video, be aware of what the features are of each of these vibrating jigs, and know when to use them based on what it is you want to do. Do you want to yo-yo these off the bottom? Do you want to work them through grass? Do you want to pop them? Do you want to slow roll them? Each of these have different strengths, and what kind of rattling sound do you want? I think that's the biggest takeaway from this. And believe me, guys, there's a ton more lipless crankbaits. I hope you enjoy these. Guys, if you like them, we'll keep doing them. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get in the pool and do another set of 3 lipless crankbaits before I get down to Florida. But you let me know. If you want to see more, we'll get them out there. We appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you again tomorrow for another episode of Mark Fisher Outdoors. Take care, everybody.